Welcome to the O Brother Podcast with hosts Dan and Mike Smith, brothers from the same mother with different opinions on movies, TV, video games, and more, plus celebrity interviews. Get ready, get set, it's time for the O Brother Podcast.
Welcome back to the O Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith.
Do we have different mothers?
Well, that's often been speculated over the years.
Well, all people just have to look at us and say, clearly not the same mother.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I just feel like this is another one where, have we done this recently? It seems like it's been 6 months since we've done this. I have so many cobwebs in the brain today. But anyways, June 20th, when you're getting this episode, a little bit delayed slightly, but nonetheless, we're back. And before we jump into the episode, we're going to be talking primarily about this Hustle movie on Netflix, which is Adam Sandler's latest Netflix feature.
It's actually
content on Netflix at this point, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's actually LeBron James' production that he went to Sandler to get done, but it's under Happy Madison Productions.
What does that have to do with anything I just said?
Well, you were saying, Sandler being only on Netflix.
No, I'm just saying he's one of the top content creators on Netflix, or at least he's featured in, not necessarily behind the camera, but he's got tons of Netflix features.
He's got a lot of Netflix money in his pocket.
He does.
Let's put it that way.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the Hustle and some other things. And for those of you that are not currently following us, make sure that you do. The easiest way to find all things O Brothers, to go out to our official website, which is, of course, OHB as in brother, podcast.com. That's ohbpodcast.com. Get access to all the goings on there. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the podcast that way. We're on all podcast platforms, so you can find us wherever you find podcasts. As I said, June 20th, 2022. So this is a brand new film. This just came out, June 3rd, I think was the release date on it.
Yeah, last week.
And we just caught it, just within the last few days or so. And do you want to give a quick synopsis of the film?
Yeah, basically Adam Sandler plays a basketball scout and not real happy doing it. And he's promised by the owner, cameo by Robert Duvall, to be an assistant coach. I think it's literally the night he was told, and he's celebrating. He gets a call, the owner died, and the son took over, and the son was kind of a jerk, and the son put him back instantly to a scout. And we follow him looking at different talent, one in particular.
I'm riveted already.
Yeah, but that's it.
So Robert Duvall, you're like, okay, and he's in it for, spoiler alert, 5 minutes.
Right.
As you just pointed out. But you want to mention some of the other cast here? Queen Latifah, some others?
Queen Latifah plays his wife, and about every other NBA player is in it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the rest. Yeah, both active and retired players.
Active, retired, announcers, you name it. They're
Kenny
all
Smith.
in it. Yeah.
And this is really your movie to comment on more so, because you probably know more of these guys than I do.
The older ones.
Well, what about, so the talk about the main character besides Adam Sandler, of course, this kid that he ends up recruiting.
Yeah, he winds up going to Spain, which this is very realistic. It happened with Kevin Durant, who's a superstar, has two rings already, and they play street ball. And all the people from the neighborhood come and they watch. And there's this one kid that he catches a glimpse of at one of these street games. Mm-hmm. He's got work boots on, but he's the best player on the court. And he figures the work boots are a con to con the other players to think, oh, he's slow and you can't get to him because there's money they divide up at the end. If
Yeah.
you win, you get the money.
And
So he,
this kid, Bo Cruz, you're talking
yeah,
about the character's name, played by. Now, did you know this kid? Because he
I
played
didn't.
what, 2 games for the Celtics on the bench, maybe? If you
Did
look,
he?
I guess so. Yeah, I looked up his record, and he's listed as playing for the Celtics from 21 to 22. So
That's
I thought, oh, maybe
probably
you've seen him.
I didn't. I never saw him. He never played a game. I think that was probably just part of it. You
Yeah,
have to be an NBA player to be on the bench, so they made him like a 2-day contract.
yeah, yeah.
But no, I don't know him. I was curious because at the end he's wearing a Celtics uniform
Right.
and supposedly got picked up
Yeah,
by the
got picked up
Celtics,
at the
but no.
Celtics. Yeah, which I thought was cool. But and he goes by Juancho, I guess is sort of a nickname, I suppose.
Hmm.
It's Juan, I think it's Hernan Gomez is his last name. But anyway, so
Yes,
yeah, he plays Bo Cruz, or the Cruz Missile, as he's nicknamed by Sandler. That's a running gag
right.
through the whole movie, because Bo isn't real keen on the nickname,
Yeah, got to have a nickname.
which I thought it was pretty good, Cruz Missile. So what's your initial impressions of the film, first of all?
My immediate impression was, why are they making this? Because Disney Plus is making a movie that's basically the same story, only it's real. You got the Giannis from Milwaukee and his two brothers, and I don't know his brothers' names, but one plays with him on Milwaukee and the other plays somewhere else. But they're three brothers from, I'm not even sure the country, that made it to the NBA. It's the first time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember seeing some trailers for that or whatever. Is
Yeah,
that?
they've been
It's not
pumping,
out yet, right? It's not quite out yet.
no,
Okay. Right.
but they've been pumping trailers like crazy,
Yeah.
probably to steal a little viewing or to
Right.
confuse the market. I don't know.
It's
But
like,
I was confused. I'm like, I don't think I would invest my money when Disney they've got a bigger pocket than me no matter what.
yeah. I mean, it seems like I guess it seems like a plot, that has been played out before. Pardon the pun, but
Yeah.
he got game, Basketball Diaries, like whatever. There's just so many within that.
Rocky, which they make fun
Well,
of.
exactly. In terms of the formula, yeah, exactly. That's true. I mean, some of it seemed like it was taken right out of Rocky,
Right.
1 or 2 or whatever. I mean, it was decent. I thought it was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular. I thought this kid did a nice job for never having acted before.
Yeah.
He
My,
had to play a range of emotion at times, and that's not super easy to do, but he pulled it off pretty well, I thought.
I wondered why I never heard of him. Why isn't he in the NBA? If
Yeah.
they picked him to be like this secret super basketball player, why didn't they make him real? Because there's guys in the NBA that didn't go to college, 19 years old. We've got one of them, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, but that
Why didn't
wouldn't.
they use someone real?
Well, I mean, he is real in the sense that he's a real player.
Not for the NBA.
Sure. He's on the roster for the Jazz.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
my
And again,
mistake.
a bench player, whatever, but
Right.
he's a legitimate player. So,
Okay. That's my
and so
mistake then.
yeah, no. And I think in that case it's good because I'd rather have an unknown playing it, an unknown real player.
Hmm.
If this had been a Jason Tatum or something, kind of like I mentioned he got game, which was Shuttlesworth or whatever. Remember? What was that kid's name? Ray Allen, right?
Ray Allen.
That was Ray Allen.
Was it Ray Allen?
Yeah.
Wow. He played for the Celtics.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
So
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
he got game. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was okay as well. But yeah, so
I-
this was nothing to write home about. I liked the pairing of Queen Latifah and Sandler. Actually,
They
I thought
worked. That
they
worked.
they made a good pairing.
Yeah.
And she's good. She's always pretty solid in her performances.
And in a movie like, Adam Sandler needs to do more movies like this. Forget the comedies because they are terrible.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? Like, it's hard to get out of your mind when he emotes in a certain way. It's always going to be Adam Sandler from SNL
Yeah.
when he goes into that yelling voice.
Yeah.
I told you, kids, and all of that was horrible. Wow,
I
that's
can't do
horrible.
it. I can't do it.
Shabba-dabba.
There we
Yeah,
go.
something like
There we
that.
go.
Yeah, yeah. But he goes into those areas, and it's just hard to take him seriously. Though he does have good dramatic chops.
He does. He can act,
Yeah.
and when the time calls for it, he can do whatever. I think
And-
he's a really talented guy. I just think he picks wrong projects sometimes, or he's the guy. So
Well, listen, he's laughing all the way to the bank. I mean,
Yeah.
usually his movies do big money. This one, it's highly rated right now on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's early, and there hasn't been a lot of audience reviews on
Mhm.
that site, at least. And I think the IMDb Metascore is like 3 or something, so it's pretty low.
wow,
It's pretty low, yeah.
how many
Uh,
people? How many critics
Well,
is
Rotten
that?
Tomatoes is 92% for both audience and critics. Many more critics have reviewed it than audience members have reviewed it. So, make what you want of that.
Yeah, I got to check that critic. How many critics gave it 3?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I've heard of one that bad.
You can explore the IMDb rating there. So this comes in just under 2 hours. Again, if you've got Netflix, I mean, it's a decent take. I'm not going to go out of my way to, say you should see it. But again, I think you've seen it played out in
Before.
other films
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
It's just Rocky, but instead of boxing, he's a basketball player.
It really is true, because you go through that whole metamorphosis with him
Mhm.
training, and
And
there's some
instead of
interesting bits there. But
instead of a wife, it's a daughter.
yes, yeah. Heidi Gardner was in this. Did you recognize her from Saturday Night Live? She's one of the current cast members on Saturday Night Live. She plays Vince Merrick's, who's the owner, his daughter, I guess.
What's her name?
Heidi Gardner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know
Very
all
small
of them.
part. Very
Yeah.
small part. But she's really good. You can see that she has
Oh yeah,
the ability to be a really good actor as well. So
I like her on SNL.
I do too.
And the name just didn't click with the face. But yeah,
Yeah, she was good. I wish Duvall had been in it longer, of course.
did he
just
really
Well, how old
die,
is he
or
now? Is
I
he
don't know.
90 something?
I don't
He's
know.
90, I think. I think he's 90.
He's up there.
Yeah.
And
It sounded like,
Dr. J, we got to see Dr. J.
Dr.
and
J, that was great. He looks great.
He always
He looks
Yeah,
great. And
remember,
we
he
got to
was-
meet him.
You're right, when he was with the Magic.
Well, no, we met him. No, okay. You're talking about Doc Rivers.
No, Dr. J.
He was
Dr.
with-
J was with the Magic.
When was he with the Magic?
He was in the front office.
When?
The first few years, because
A
remember-
fact check on that, folks. Fact
yeah.
check.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the facts.
Yeah, fact check that, would you?
Okay.
Because I saw Doc Rivers, so another Celtics reference for us.
Right.
But Dr.
Dr.
J, I was thinking of when met him after the NBA All-Star game in Orlando back in 92, 93. Remember, on the way out?
We met everyone. Remember Clyde Drexler? We're sitting there and he just comes walking up the front door.
It was a whole different class of people then, though. And MC Hammer, I'd like to point out that we met that day too. Can't touch this. Are you looking it up? You're checking.
Yeah,
on,
so keep
okay, I do
talking while
not
I'm looking it up.
remember Dr. J. Julius Irving.
And I'll tell you why, because a whole bunch, when the Magic
remember that.
started, Matt Gukas was coach.
Matt Gukas, yeah.
Remember, those were all Philadelphia guys.
Jeez, I don't remember that at all.
Actually, I got to look it up on the NBA
I think
site.
it's
It'll
Doc
take
Rivers,
me too
but okay.
long.
All right.
No, I mean, I know Doc Rivers, obviously. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in it. But Dr. J was an executive for at least 4 years.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, there's not really much to get. Like you said, you've seen it before. It's Rocky with basketball.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Good night, folks. Yeah, this you can sense it in the energy of the review.
Yeah.
But we did watch another film. I know we didn't really talk about reviewing this, but I guess just for the sake of bringing it up, we both watched a film neither of us had seen before, which is actually a few years old. It's from 2019, which is Guy Ritchie's movie The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey, and Colin Farrell had a bit of a part in that. Oh yeah, of course, Hugh Grant
Right.
was the other, and Charlie Hunnam. I guess those were the three main
three main guys.
characters.
We also saw Nick Cage's movie,
Yeah, I had seen that quite
The
a while ago.
Unbearable Lightness of Being a Movie Star Named Nick Cage.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
close.
that.
Wasn't
Close.
Daniel Day-Lewis in that as well? Or
I think so.
yeah, he
But
was in it too. He came out of retirement for that.
that sort of disappointed me a little bit.
The Nick Cage film, I thought
yeah.
it was enjoyable.
I
thought it was
liked
funny.
parts of it, but
Nice
it
tongue in
wasn't
cheek, poking himself.
right. When he did that, it was good, but most of the movie wasn't that. It was him and Pedro Pascal, their relationship, becoming buddies and helping each other out. It was kind of a buddy thing more than it was Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. Although he clearly did that in this film, it was a small part of it. And they de-aged him to Valley Girl. I mean,
oh, I love Valley Girl.
They went all the way back.
Yeah, that's a classic Cage movie.
Oh, the ending. I thought for sure I had the ending. And it doesn't matter if it's a spoiler because it's been out for so long, but
except for those that haven't seen it still.
It starts.
You just saw it.
I know, but it's been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's past the spoiler stage, like a week. Most people say like a week.
Get to the spoiler.
So anyway, it starts with him coming out of a restaurant, meeting David Getz, the producer. And it's really him. And he says, "Oh, Dave, hey, I want to be in that new movie you're doing. I got the script. I think I can really do a lot with it. I got the Boston accent down." He's going on and on and on. And he's like, "I'll read for you." And he laughs because when you have to read in Hollywood, you're not quite there yet. When they start just offering, when they start just giving you scripts and say, "We want you for this," you made it. So Nick kind of jokingly says, "I'll read for you." And then all of a sudden he says, "Let me read for you." And he goes into it, and it's his wild Nick Cage that he does. And you could see David Geffen go, "Wow, yeah, okay."
Did you say David Geffen or David Getz?
I said Geffen, not Getz. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. He was also going out for a recording contract. Well, DreamWorks, I suppose there's some relevance there.
But anyways, I thought at the end, when we get to the end and you see his daughter come to
this getting to the spoiler is as long as the friggin' movie. Can you get to the spoiler already?
This is it. If you didn't interrupt me, it would be spoiled.
I'm rotting.
It'd be over. If you didn't
it.
Interrupt me, I would have been done.
You say that all the time. I didn't interrupt you for 15 minutes. Go.
So when his daughter comes at him and you say, "Wow, his daughter really grew up pretty quick there." And I thought for sure you were going to hear cut, roll them, tape, whatever, that it was a movie that they were making, but it wasn't. It turned out to be something else. So,
wow. Long way to go for really not much return on that investment, folks.
And I
apologize, folks.
When I from now on, if I do a spoiler, I'm going to do a little check every time you interrupt me.
Okay.
Because that could have been done in a minute.
Not true.
And you were like, is it David
Getz
or Gavin?
This broadcast will speak for itself.
Who cares?
It'll speak for itself.
Getz, Gavin. Is it David?
Now you've added another to the list. Gavin. Okay. All right, moving on.
I'm making people up now.
What did I say? This was a movie I said, don't even bring it up. It's like 6 months old. Why even bother?
Because it was better than the other two.
It got you nowhere.
It's probably better. I liked Pig. I like Pig better than
Okay,
this.
now we're going even further back in his career. What did you think of Con Air? Did you like Con Air?
No.
You mentioned Valley Girl. Let's keep it current.
I like the girl in Valley Girl, but
Yeah. All right. So moving on. We talk about a couple of series that, well, one that just concluded that we've
right,
been watching,
Barry.
which is Barry on HBO
Barry came
Max.
to a conclusion that, wow, just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I did predict a bit of the direction of this
Which part?
series or season finale, I should say. Well, just I had mentioned on a previous episode about how I thought, there was some foreshadowing of how the character of Sally, his girlfriend, was going to sort of, because she sort of broke it off with him and said she observed some of these aggressive tendencies he had. She
Mhm.
was also being sort of cautioned by those around her, like he seems like a loose cannon, etc. So she finally sort of woke up to that and created some distance. But then I said, no, we're going to see her come back around again and kind of get in cahoots with him. And sure enough, her character just loses it.
But it was
And
it was a lie.
what
She
was a
really
lie?
didn't come around. She bolted on him. They were going to go away together. He's like, "We can go anywhere you want." And meanwhile, she's talking from the airport on her way
Right, exactly.
home.
Well, sure, exactly. Yeah, but that wasn't until after what happened, which is kind of the climax of this episode, not to give it away, but there's a pretty big climax in this
And I don't
episode.
know if you know about, because they've already announced season 4, and Bill Hader is going to direct every episode.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
This year it was just him and Alec Berg. So
Mhm.
next season it's just him. And that was he must have some idea that he wants to see fleshed out.
You were a little bit, I say, critical of it in terms of where it was headed, or that you sort of could see how it was playing out ahead of time and all that, et cetera. I'm just curious, after seeing the season finale, are you sort of back on the
I
Barry
thought, yeah,
bandwagon or
I
what?
liked the season finale. I thought it made a good turn. And the guy that I said was his buddy, but I didn't know what he was up to.
Mhm.
What was his motivation? So that threw me. That was a real good curveball. And I have no idea what season 4 is going to be now.
Yeah, no, they do a good job of the character development because there's so many different players in this thing.
Mhm.
But I think the way that it's written and filmed, it's pretty easy to follow and and
And my
and
biggest
connect the
complaint,
dots.
yeah, my biggest complaint is they always start in trouble. They set up a real problem situation.
Mhm.
Barry's poisoned and he's about to die. Cut next
But that's
season.
that's classic cinema.
Yeah,
That's,
but
I
but to do it
expect you to die,
every
Mr. Bond. It's all of those different.
but to do it every single week, I thought it was getting a little
Yeah,
old, and
it's
then
not. It's
this was
yeah. That's
totally
not.
different.
That's not a fair assessment, though. It's not every single week. It really sometimes it's just a comical bit that they're opening up with that may or may not even have direct relevance to that entire episode. It's just something in there to, it's like the Curb Your Enthusiasm openings. It's just something kind of outrageous, and then it's the quick theme song, and then boom, you're into the
Right.
episode.
But that's improvised, most of it, and this
Yeah,
isn't.
yeah. That's not
So
something
the
I.
other one is we've got one episode from Kenobi being
So we're done
finished.
talking about Barry. Thanks, appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thanks for
Well,
moving us
I
along.
just said, so moving on.
I knew you didn't say that.
Well, I thought
You
it.
just moved. You just moved on without saying it. I was
So,
just going to mention again. I think I might have said it on the last episode, but Anthony Carrigan, who plays NoHo Hank, is just wow. Like in
yeah.
that season finale episode, oh my god, so good, man,
Yeah.
so good. A lot of range he's having to tap into there.
And I don't know what's going to happen with him.
No idea, but I love the way that his story is playing out. I just love everything about that storyline.
His
And it,
partner is totally in shock right now,
yeah,
and I just don't know where they're going with them. Think there's a
yeah,
lot of things.
Cristobal.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
but yeah,
great.
that
It's a
was
great
another good
storyline.
one.
Really good.
Everything. I don't think Barry said a single line. The only time he
No,
spoke was when he was on the phone with
no, there was a little
um,
bit at the end with
Sally.
between he and Sally, but
Yeah,
so
that was
there
the
was
only
more to it
convers.
than that.
Everything else was just him kind of being dragged along, from place to place and some shocking situations.
Yeah, looking
But
forward to
I, but
season
now
4.
that the season is done, I think it was worth the ride. I'm excited about season 4. I hope we don't have to wait 2 years like HBO does sometimes.
Yeah, another series that you were just about to mention that's about to wrap on us, at least for this season.
Okay, you
Speculation there
say
is a
that,
season 2, which
and
is
where
very
did you get that spec?
possible.
Because I'm hearing season two's greenlit,
Just
blah blah
in the
blah.
Star Wars universe, it's being discussed and put out there that that's possible, and even Ewan McGregor himself at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim
Yeah,
made comments to that effect and said, we hope you. This was because at that time I think they'd only gotten up to the first couple of episodes, right? When Celebration was taking place, they had
yeah,
premiered the
two
first 2 episodes,
episodes
right?
that they showed
And
everyone.
so at one of the panels or one of the moments in Celebration, he came out and addressed the crowd and said, "We hope that you like, episodes 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10." He made a joke like that, but
Yeah,
Star Wars is pretty. The Star Wars machine is pretty tight-lipped about things, and for him to make even a passing comment like that, it makes you think maybe there's some truth to the rumors that they have a season 2 planned.
yeah. Unless there's a time jump,
No, there's
they got
plenty that
plenty
you
of
can
time.
plenty to get into. Yeah. So that's going to wrap up this Wednesday.
My take is that this is the best, next to the Mandalorian. This is the best thing Disney's done
Hmm.
with that property. And
Yeah.
people were reacting like they were rating it. This wasn't after the last episode, this was after episode 4. How do
Hmm.
you rate it when there's still 30%?
Yeah, they've been doing that. The fan base have been doing that with Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian.
The
It's that's just where we are
Mandalorian,
right now
the
with the.
Mandalorian is pretty positive.
Nah, there's trust me, there's naysayers and critics for
Yeah.
all of it, and it's
But
always the most absurd things too.
yeah,
Like this
well,
one with Kenobi, all the conversation about, the characters don't look like the animated
right,
characters. I
that's
mean, good
insane.
God, it's so
They're
ridiculous.
gonna morph their face into a
It's just
vase.
silly. It's just silly. So, does it have its trouble spots? Yeah, sure. Like any production, it's not perfect. Nothing is.
But
But
a
overall,
lot
what they're giving us in this, it's been thoroughly enjoyable.
you had to fall off your chair at the opening of this show. All I could think
Oh, yeah, I
was
loved it. I loved it. And again,
you
there was criticism there too. So the opening was, of course, Hayden
Hayden
Christensen and
Christensen.
Ewan, prequel era.
Totally made sense.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, I guess, around that time, and they're kind of facing off in a light-hearted battle there, master against student type thing. But yeah, I loved it. Just seeing that, I thought they did really well. I wasn't sure at first looking at it was there de-aging going on? What
I
was
don't think
happening? But
so.
no, I don't think so. I mean, you look back at it and it's especially with Hayden, it seems a little bit more like, okay, yeah, I'm sure they did something, even if it was just softening the lenses up a little bit. But I could also see, yeah, no, that's him now. That's him now.
Yeah,
But it's a testament to how good he looks now,
right. Ewan didn't look any different. I felt like Ewan just came from shooting a scene, you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
He looked the same, but just seeing that rehearsal, that's just the piece we haven't seen yet.
No, and seeing Hayden in that get up again was great with the
Yeah.
the rat tail and
And
all
we
that.
we also start to see his anger. You think about it, he went from, a loving boyfriend and a good buddy with his mentor, and all of a sudden he kills Padawans. That was such a rapid transition in number 3.
Yeah.
This kind of helps stretch that out a little bit,
Yeah,
I thought.
the murder of the younglings, yeah.
Yeah, and we find out that the third sister was one of those younglings.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna tie it together, and I would imagine, I imagine it will be pretty evident whether or not we're likely to get a season 2 based
Yeah,
on what
because
they
they
do.
either have to end it and give us
And it has to reasonably connect to where Ben is in A New Hope, and that's a
right,
long way to go
correct.
still where we are from where we are right now,
Yeah, and
which is why I think I could believe that we'll get more.
I would
I
think
hope so.
so.
I hope so.
And again, on looks alone, you
Mhm.
can tell there's still another 12, 15 years between you and
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about, like, think about other cameos, whether in flashbacks or what have you, that we haven't gotten, like Padme and Qui-Gon Jinn, with Liam Neeson and all of that. So there's so much they can still play with in this particular
yeah,
part of the timeline. So
yeah.
yeah, so if you're not already, I mean, I don't know who's not watching Kenobi at this point, but super pumped to see the finale of that. I'll be bummed when it ends, but then, a few months down the road, we're going to be talking about Andor,
Right.
which will be the next series to come out on Disney Plus about Cassian Andor from Rogue One. So I'm looking forward to that too because I love that film. All right. So anything else whether it be again Hustle, very not it's a couple thumbs down or whatever you want to say for that one, but
Yeah.
um,
It's okay, you know.
Kenobi, yes. Barry, yes.
Yep.
More, please. Oh,
It's
you know
good
what I
enough.
just watched by the way last night? Tenet. Finally.
Oh
Have
man.
you even watched it yet?
I have, but it's been a while and my head hasn't quite stopped exploding.
Exactly right. I'm waiting for the sequel, the explanation of Tenet. But anyhow,
That's a real brain cruncher.
well, like all Nolan films. Let me ask you, where are you at with the physical media versus digital? Are you leaning any more towards digital now? Are we still moving the needle on that?
I'm thinking about it,
Are
but
you?
there's a lot of physical media I just won't touch. You're just going to have to give away when I kick.
You mean that you won't give up? Yeah.
Yeah, I won't give up. Like
Right.
Larry Sanders, things like that.
Right.
Just
Right.
not going to
Yeah.
part with them.
It'll
But then
be
there's
I'll
other
be I'll be
things.
spreading you and the remains of all your
Right.
physical media collection over the Atlantic Ocean.
I can see my ashes going in the Pacific with, discs rumbling down the side. The
Yeah.
the one thing, like, I have the complete Marvel universe in Steelbook. And that's like that's on my because I already have it on regular
Do
right
you
behind
remember
me.
it makes me think of, thinking of physical media, it makes me because even with music, do you remember the CBS Club? Remember the Columbia
Yeah,
Record
yeah,
Club?
get 12 for a penny.
Oh my god, you would get what it was you would get this booklet from
Uh-huh.
Columbia Records,
Uh-huh.
and it had, like,
They still do it.
sheets of stamps,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
each stamp was a different album,
Right.
and then you could choose how many? 12 or
12
6
for
or
a
whatever.
penny.
Yeah, so you'd peel off you'd choose your 12 stamps.
Yeah.
Listen closely, kids. You take your 12 stamps and then, lick them and put them in the 12 spaces, and then you'd
Right.
mail that away to somewhere in California. And
Right.
then, like, maybe 2, 4 weeks later, you'd get a surprise delivery at your house
Huge box
with
cassettes.
all of these compact discs. Well, it was cassettes, right, originally.
Yeah.
And then it became compact discs.
Yep.
And so, wow,
And
that's a
now
blast from
they
the past.
like Disney has one. And it's exactly what you're describing, except you don't have to lick the stamps or any. There's no more stamps.
There's no licking
You get a
involved. Yeah.
book. You get a book, and you get a thing where you can write the numbers, and then you just give them a call, and you call you. What do they call it?
Is that the Disney Movie Insiders or something? Or
Yeah,
Rewards
it's just
Club
the
or
Disney Movie Club.
Disney Movie Club? Yeah.
And if you're like me, it's sort of worth it,
Mhm.
because you buy like 5 movies, they wind up being $20 each. Okay, and this is 4K. So But the longer you wait, it's going down to $14 or $10 eventually. So if you just don't buy right away,
yeah,
you're
that's
good.
it. We're like,
but we're impulsive.
We're impulsive. Yeah, we're an impulsive creature.
Know?
Well, yeah, you wait long enough, and I think we've made our listeners wait too long for this episode to end.
This was going to be a half hour.
This was going to be like a quick in out. Here's
very
our take
tight,
on the hustle, and then
very tight half hour.
But you wanted to crowbar your Nicolas Cage review in there, which you got. So now it's become, what's the name of the episode? The Unbearable Weight of this episode from Dan and Mike.
The unbearable weight of listening to the Old Brother podcast.
No talent. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been another episode of the Old Brother podcast.
What's coming up next? Anything on the horizon that you can share?
Yeah, we got plenty coming up on the horizon, but nothing that I care to divulge this time. No.
All right.
No. Because I've learned that until it's in the can, right, it hasn't really happened. So
very true.
We're not going to get burned there. But all right. So been your host, Dan Smith, alongside me as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith. I'm pretty certain we're going to see you next time.
I'm about 80% on that. Take it easy, everyone.
What? Take it easy, everyone. What are you? Hey, take it easy. Hey, take it easy.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't you the coach from Old Brother that says, "Hey, take it easy"?
I forgot what I said.
Yeah, but now I say, farewell.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, George Carlin.
Yeah, it's George Carlin. Look that up. That's a great bit. But
bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.